Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wrong Ones Podcast. I'm Dinesh Saki, joined by Punk. Hey Punk, how are you?
Hey, hi Dinesh. All good, man. All good.
Oh, obviously, I'm gonna have to skip today's session, which I think is fair. But yeah, quickly sort of jumping into the thick of things, right? Game 14 today, RCB playing at home after two away wins, and obviously, GT sort of played a game at home, a couple of away games for them. But a lot of stake in today's game. One, obviously everyone's sort of looking at RCB's record. Historically they haven't done really well at home, so that's something they want to prove a point. And obviously, on back of two wins, so there's a lot of focus on RCB this season. And then simultaneously, GT started over, on a losing note. Then they won the second game, so obviously, things are starting to come together for GT. But primarily I want to just call out, obviously, this is something you pointed out on yesterday's call as well, in terms of Mohammad
Yeah.
Siraj, how important he is for
Yeah.
GT's winning cause. He needs to ball well at the start, and that's exactly what he did. Personally, obviously from a Siraj standpoint as well, he's been with RCB for a long time. That's where he actually made his name and ended up playing for India. Then obviously for some whatever reason they didn't retain him a couple of years ago. He went to RR, and then now we moved to GT. And GT
Yeah.
actually paid a decent amount of money as well for him this season, like in the auction, close to
Around
like
10
10
CR
crores.
plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, maybe a quick word on Siraj in terms of how well he performed today.
So, basically, technically, it's home ground, right? And that's where Siraj was discovered. That's so he knew, what's like the only problem with Siraj, which I've, even the BGT series I've told about, right? The swing, right? He's
Hmm.
lost the swing. And the first game when he played, I did message you on WhatsApp, right? His swing is back.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I was looking for. And yesterday when I messaged about, and when we had in the podcast, right, I did tell that Siraj is a key and not Rashid Khan. Everybody thinks Rashid Khan is this thing.
Hmm.
Siraj is a key because if we take the first 2 3 wickets off front, you know that's where the spinners, when they come in, right, the batsmen, they won't be that free flowing,
Hmm.
you see. And and that's what happened. Siraj, he gave you the opening spell,
Hmm.
and because now he is the head of that, the bowling lead for that particular unit, right, for
Hmm.
GT, right, and that gives confidence to the next set of bowlers as well, right. And if you're two down, you
Hmm.
know you have that a bit of a, and RCB, that fear is always there for them because they have the lowest scores, you know so it's not that easy to get away from it.
Hmm.
So that also plays in your mind as well, right? So,
Yeah.
but even after getting 4 wickets, they were lucky. I didn't think they would have got to 140. But
160. Yeah.
the opening spell, yeah, like opening spell was too good. That was like some spell to watch for.
Hmm.
I'm so happy for Siraj. I hope he continues that, because definitely he's going to. It's more than IPL. I'm looking towards the England series,
Hmm.
right? And he will be lethal if he can continue. If he gives, just imagine with the white ball, if he can swing that much, right?
Yeah.
Then with the red ball, in England conditions, when the 5 test matches here in the
Hmm.
summer, it is going to be awesome for us to see him. So good to see the way he opened up, and then that really opened up. You got the first 2 3 wickets, and that's
Hmm.
it. Right? They're
Yeah.
always catching up throughout the game. It was just going on catching up, right? So
Absolutely. Obviously, a lot of bright things for Mohammad Siraj and GT, right? But obviously, the flip side is Rashid Khan. Not something we used to. Where today's game he conceded 54 runs of his 4 overs at an average of economy of 13 point something. Very
yeah,
unusual. But
so
I know you made a point around Rashid Khan. Do you think teams started realizing his tricks now?
yeah, yeah. So it's the googly, right? So
Hmm.
most of the ball come in, right, and what used to, if you remember, most of the batsmen used to try to drive the ball to cover,
Hmm.
offside, and the ball is to sneak in and you get leg before, or they try to sweep him.
Yeah.
Now what they're doing is they're trying to play him towards the
Mid
onside, but
wicket. Yeah.
most with a straight shot.
Hmm.
So even because if even a slight deviation, right, and you see the thing is with Rashid Khan, right,
Hmm.
you will get wickets generally if you have a slip.
Hmm.
Yeah. So if he does the normal leg spinner, which is goes away from the batsman,
Hmm.
then if you have a slip, then there's a chance that you might get a wicket,
Hmm.
right? So most of the batsmen, if you see now how they're facing it, because there's no slips, you're just playing straight. And when they swing the bat straight, right, even if the ball like deviates, either they'll miss
Yeah.
or it'll be a thick edge which will actually go towards point, right? So
Hmm.
what happens is like they've got trick now with Rashid. Now he has to like do some like loopy ones, you know he has to like maybe vary his pace a bit here and there.
Yeah.
He's done few, and like to frankly speaking, right, he did really well. There was a stump, easy stump which was missed. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then there was a catches missed as well. Two, three catches on his like out of four was you've given three chances, and the
Hmm.
guy who hit him, okay, was Livingston.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell you how many sixes Livingston hit him. So
Hmm.
one, two, three, four, five. Okay, so
Yeah.
Livingston hit him for five sixes. That's 30 runs
Hmm.
in itself. And he got him out, and then also like So what I'm trying to say is like he got Livingston out.
But obviously,
Yeah.
no, the decision didn't go in his favor. Yes. Hmm.
Yeah. So he got him out, like the stump chance was missed. It was an
Yeah.
easy stumping chance, right? Like the catches was dropped.
Hmm.
So it's not that like he was. It's just that like there are some so in a team, right? There will be one or two batsmen who can face Rashid well.
Hmm.
If he gets them out, then the rest of the team starts stumbling. Like if Tim David was there and Rashid was bowling,
Hmm.
I'm sure Tim might have hit him for a six, and the next ball he would have gone out. You
Yeah.
see, so Livingston actually used his thing and just took him apart. But his bowling was good actually. He got them like three four chances.
Yeah.
It's just that we they have to do some fielding practice. There's some like really easy catches. Like,
I was about to say, I think before we touch on Livingston, I think GT's fielding today is very sloppy. Like, they right from the start, obviously Butler dropped,
yeah,
a salt when it was on one, yeah, behind the stumps, and then obviously, Tivatia, the catch of Livingston, and then Sai Kishore missed just one, and then again the
yeah.
stumping from Butler, and there's a lot of like boundaries as well they've considered. Like, they just, couldn't, yeah,
Yeah,
keep their
I
act
think so.
together.
Nehraji needs to take them for a ride and make them run around Ahmedabad ground.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going
Yeah,
to be some words around it today,
standard.
because obviously,
Yeah, absolutely.
even after all those chances, they only considered 169. It could have been even more if they dropped catches like, up the order, like, dropping
Yeah.
someone like Salt or like, Kohli, and if they like, ended up making big score, then it would have
See,
been a
this
different
was a
chase for
minimum.
GT.
The pass score was a 200 pass score, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
also like if you remember yesterday, I also mentioned like there were two things which GT did right, and where the 60-40 which I had like given in terms of right. One
Hmm.
was Siraj bowling up front, right? So
Yeah.
that gave them those breaks, and so
Hmm.
that settled in. And the second one which I've talked about is when Bhuvi and Hazelwood
Hazelwood.
bowl, they need to conserve the wickets. Everybody goes bang bang. No. So if you see, they got the 30 odd runs. They lost
Yeah.
just one wicket, 42 or 44 runs in 6 overs, which
Hmm.
is fine. And then the chase was just 8.5 runs. So it's not a
Yeah.
big thing. So they were more or less on track. And with that, just gave them enough time, and the batting, clicked. If say, Bhuvi and Hazel would have taken those two or three wickets, GT would have struggled,
Yeah.
because if you see the batting, they don't have the depth. Rutherford, and then you have Arshad Khan and Tewatia, and
Hmm.
Tewatia is not like, it comes once in a blue, right? But not every time you would be able to finish those games.
Yeah.
So the batting was a bit weak,
Hmm.
GT, right? So they played it really well.
Hmm.
They were lucky, that those missed catches came a bit after 4 or 5 wickets. So they
Hmm.
did not have that much, batting depth to take, the game away from them completely.
Hmm.
uh, Another 10, 15, 20 runs, and if GT would have RCB would have got some wickets up front, it would have been a very different game. RCB on paper is still strong. It's just that
Absolutely.
GT played out of the skin with Siraj
Yeah.
bowling really well, and the batting of definitely Butler, man.
Hmm.
And the way Butler started, he didn't like give them a chance. It was
Yeah.
very relaxed. He
Hmm.
didn't like go all out. took his time. He knew that the runs were not big. If it was a 200 pitch, like 200 runs to chase, then it would have been slightly different.
Yeah,
But yeah, good game overall, man. It was a brilliant game actually,
absolutely.
and
Yeah,
he
you
kept
pointed
on
about
playing
Butler,
good.
right? What an innings! 73 of 39 deliveries, and then most importantly, I want to call out Sai Sudarshan. Maybe another 50 on, almost he got out on 49, but that's he's opening and he's scoring a 50 for every game, and he's playing very watchful game, and he doesn't play an attacking cricket. He just buys his time, but then he somehow always makes up for the strike rate.
Have you seen his shots? The way he plays,
Hmm.
they're not like rash shots.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
They're
all
proper
timing and
batting,
proper. Yeah,
timing. It's something what Ruturaj has done. You see the consistency of these batsmen
yeah.
who play those shots, right? They will be consistent, right?
Hmm.
And then they take a risk after, when they've settled in, and then they scoop the ball. They can see the ball better. They know what the pitch bounce is, the line and length.
Hmm.
Because if you try to scoop from the first ball itself, you don't know how much the ball is going to bounce, because every pitch,
Yeah.
every day, right, the conditions change, right? If you play like 10, 15, 20 balls, then you have, so that shows he is a good player,
Hmm.
good find actually. I like what I can see is, he might be one of your contenders
And
for, yeah,
in the
he's
long
got
run.
that skill. Yeah,
Mhm.
good all round batsman actually.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're an RCB fan, do you panic or is it just a one-off
Um,
and no?
it's just one off, man. It was just, those few
Do you
wickets which
still
went
think they
off
have the
from.
batting depth to sort of bail them going forward if this happens again? The top order,
Yeah,
yeah,
they do have, like you
faith.
see Tim David comes, and he, like, even after losing 4 5 wickets, he go to 170. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's a good score. You see,
Yeah, but
the
don't
only
forget the
problem
number of
is the
chances
only
Livingston
problem
got.
is yeah, the only
Yeah.
problem is the Bangalore, the Bangalore pitch, right?
Hmm.
It flies, so another 20 runs and it was like a good score. 190 would have been a good score on that pitch, right? So
Yeah, maybe
yeah,
another top.
they'll have to just, my only thing is particle. uh,
Yes, I was actually bring up his details as well, in terms of, I mean, that's 3 games now. They brought him as an impact, so he hasn't really Last game is the only one where he sort of hit the quick fire 20, but
yeah.
he's going through a tough time, not just for RCB this season, with RR in the last couple of seasons, and also with India when he had this opportunity in the first test, he just really couldn't do much. I don't know, it's the confidence or something else that's going on with him that's actually really bothering him. But yeah, he's a good find, good talent. He played really well for Bangalore in his previous stint, but since he moved to RR, everything just sort of went downhill for him.
Yeah, maybe they'll have to see if, either, I know Kohli wants to open, right?
Hmm.
But Particle was a very good opener. So
Yeah,
if they could look at bringing in, Particle and Kohli to open, so that is like, one left hander and one right hander,
yeah, but
and
Salt
get Phil.
is an opener even in international cricket. He opens for England, so Salt, I don't think
But
he can
like,
take it down. I'd rather
yeah,
want
but
Kohli to bat at number three, if anything.
the Kohli, I think so. He'll struggle
Number
at number
three,
three.
that's where he
Yeah.
played all his life, right?
No,
Be it
but if
T20s.
you see the
Not
World
for
Cup which he won,
IPL and the
he
recent World Cup, obviously. That's because of the
and
IPL, but the last three,
yeah,
4 years. But prior to that, he
yeah,
was always a number three
but
batsman.
that time you had like, Kohli used to open with Chris Gale as well, right? If you see, what I'm trying to say is, like, particularly if he opens with, Kohli, that's a
Hmm.
left-right combination, yeah,
Yeah, the same can be
yeah,
with the
or
Salt
or,
as
or the or Kohli. See if Kohli wants, because he's already retired from international cricket, right?
well. Hmm.
Especially in T20, right?
Yeah,
It makes sense for him to come at, number three,
number three, yeah,
and give
absolutely. And
and
he
give
he
Particle the
played that spot
opportunity.
for a long time in his career, so
Yes.
I don't think,
So,
yeah,
and give Particle that opportunity to,
open.
open the innings, right?
Yeah,
And then he can come, play freely. He doesn't have to wait for the swinging ball, right?
yeah.
The slip fielders won't be there. He can then rotate the strike, and you can, he has a power hitting as well.
Hmm.
That could be an opportunity. But Particle at three,
Yeah.
he's going to struggle. He's an opening
Hmm.
batsman, right? He needs that thing. But and like the team has, like, they have some other players, right? So you have like Romario Shepherd, right? Who can bat
Hmm.
as well, right? So then, there's Jacob Bethel, batting all rounder. So yeah,
Yeah.
but the only problem is who else they would like from the Indian contingent, right? If they drop, like say particle, right? Maybe another
But.
2 games, right? They'll see him, so they
Mhm,
might see him for another 2 games, right? If he does not perform,
mhm.
then they will have to like bring in, an Indian batsman, which I don't see in this bench. They have bowlers. There's bowling all rounder. Lungi is
I mean,
there.
there's
He's a
this
bowler.
young kid called Swastik Chikara. Obviously, I don't know much about him, so someone they can absolutely look at.
Swastik
Or
Chikara.
yeah, he's in the squad.
No, he's not.
19-year-old right hand bat, right arm
Okay, yeah.
combo.
There's only one guy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's the only person, right? So they could, yeah. That's the only option, right? They could,
Mm-hmm.
but then again, you'll have three right-handers up front.
Or
That's
another
really
thing
going
I
to be
was
a
thinking,
challenge,
right?
right?
Something they've actually tried in the past. If they really need lefty at number three, they can absolutely explore Kunal Pandya at number three, and then bring in a
He could
batting
be a
all
good
rounder,
option.
and bring in a batting all
Yeah,
rounder down the line.
yeah, and
Yeah.
get somebody to power hit. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
option, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like the team looks. See, nothing to panic. It's only particle, right? If he
Mhm.
goes going, right?
Mhm.
Because Rajat Patil are coming at 4 is a bit of a challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he
we need
needs
him
to.
because he that's
Yeah,
where he gets opportunity to play spin a lot, which he's really good at. So I think he needs to play there.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So yeah, yeah, they can have they look at how particle play. Like they're not going to change anything for the
Mhm.
next 2 matches, right?
Yeah.
Nothing to panic for them. But yeah, the next match is in Mumbai. So that is going to be an interesting this thing with Mumbai doing really well
Mhm.
against KKR, right?
Yeah.
And the bowling like really clicking. Trent Bolt,
Mhm.
and Chahar, and Kohli with the swing ball
Yeah.
up front. It's going to be a challenge, right? And then you have the other guy, Ashwini Kumar, right? He's good.
Mhm.
He's a left-hander, so
Yeah.
Kohli struggles with left-handers as well, right? Especially swinging bowlers.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game next one. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, let's see how things unfold for KKR. But yeah, kudos to GT for bouncing back. The bowling looks strong now.
absolutely. Yeah,
If Siraj obviously continues the form. But yeah, let's shift focus to tomorrow's game. KKR, SRH, both sort of sitting in a bottom of the table. Last place for KKR and number 8 for SRH. Just one game each and 2 points. So a lot of focus. Both needs to win tomorrow's game. Who is your pick? The game's going to be
SRH.
KKR home. Okay, you're
Uh,
going with
S-
SRH.
this is like this the squads. If I look, I'd like SRH. Right. The only thing is, which I always talked about, is the spin. Yeah,
Hmm.
SRH has a problem with spin.
Yeah.
Now, for that, they will have to see how they bring in Zampa,
Hmm.
right? So, if they can bring in Zampa,
Hmm.
and who else they have as a spinner?
They have the Indian spinner, right? Jishan Ansari, who did well.
Yeah. So then
Hmm.
because in Calcutta, right? They
Hmm.
have a slight advantage with spin.
Yeah,
They got like two really good bowlers with Narayan and Chakravarti,
Chakravarti.
right?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. The other challenge is also like the spin hitters of SRH, right?
Hmm.
They need to be in and around when these guys are bowling.
Yeah.
So that's like Klassen, for example,
Hmm.
and Abhishek Sharma. If these two guys are there, and if few wickets are lost here and there, but these two guys are playing around when these spinners are there,
Hmm.
then SRH is going to like take them for a toss.
Yep.
That's
KKR
the only.
standpoint, obviously, they're
Uh,
struggling in the top three for unless
KKR,
Rahane and Peacock
see,
scores.
yeah, like Rahane has to open, man.
Okay.
He's not your power hitter, and he cannot play against spin.
So who do you bat at
His
number three?
stats.
Decock.
Decock bats at 3.
Okay.
Decock bats at 3. Decock has that skill.
Mhm.
It's a no problem for Decock. Decock bats at 3. Narayan and Ajinkya
And you
opens.
still have Venkatesh Iyer at 4, Rinku Singh at 5.
Yeah, yeah. So then everybody they stay the same based on
Okay.
this thing. Like if you need a Russell power, then based on that you bring in Russell as and when you need it, right? You can shift
Yeah.
around a bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, Venkatesh Iyer is good. Like he's done really well last year. He was one. That's
Yeah,
the reason
absolutely.
why
Yeah,
they
that's the reason they
went
went.
back after him,
Yeah,
right?
big bucks for him,
The
right? Yeah.
only thing is his bowling. Like they're struggling with the bowling as well, right? Russell is not bowling enough, and then you don't
Well, he
have.
bowled the last game
Yeah,
and he got the wicket of Rohit Sharma. So I think hopefully
yeah,
that gives him some
yeah.
confidence as well. And there was actually a chat around him, and he did say he's ready to bowl now, like whenever the team needs. So it's not like uh, he doesn't want to. He's definitely is ready to bowl. So let's see things unfold.
And Ramandeep Singh is one guy, like
Mhm.
he's lying way below,
Yeah,
right? So
we're
that's
probably
something they will
bringing him
have
up the
to
order.
see.
Mhm.
Yeah, like the KK has to be a bit flexible with the left, right. So you got
Yeah,
like Rinku, Venkatesh,
hmm
Narayan, Deepak, the four left-handers.
yeah,
Yeah. Um, Russell is your right hander and Ramandeep Singh, right? So if there's an opportunity to continue with the left, right, which Kekira did very well when Gambhir was the coach last year.
yeah.
If you remember, like he was like left, right.
Mhm.
And as I've told you, right, for a bowler, like any bowler, when a left-right
It's gonna be hard.
changes,
Yeah,
like it's very hard to change your line and length and everything, because you know the consistency is very difficult, right? So you will get opportunity balls to hit some
yeah.
fours, right? So
Mhm.
that's something which KKR is not doing, so they have to look into that as well, right? So,
Absolutely. Let's see how things unfold tomorrow. Obviously, big game for both sides. So hopefully, it's going to be an interesting contest and maybe
what
some
about you? I know
run fest.
KKR.
No, I think SRH. Obviously, if they're
No,
batting
no,
like you
it's
pointed out,
KKR,
like
right? It's KKR, right?
yeah, it is KKR. Yes, yes, absolutely. My money is on KKR. My heart is on SRH. But yes, let's
Same.
see how things unfold.
No, no. SR should
Yeah,
like
my
really
one one
go guns
one
on
player
it.
I really want to see tomorrow, like lit up as NKR. A lot of obviously visibility, and he hasn't had a really good start. So I want to see Nitish Kumar Reddy with the bat, score some runs tomorrow.
Yeah, like he see the thing is everybody wants to come in the first ball they want to hit.
Hmm.
They need to take the 2 3 balls, just understand the pitch, because it's not like even
Yeah.
in home ground, right? The pitch conditions changes.
Hmm.
So they need to take that 1 2 3 balls, right? You are not like you come first ball and you can hit it. So
Yeah.
that's something which he's got. It's not that like the bowlers have got him out here.
Yeah. It's a game awareness,
He,
right?
he's
What
just
situation you
game
play.
awareness.
Yeah.
That's it. So if he just
But yeah.
plays like 3 4 balls and takes few singles here and then, he'll get going.
Mhm. Yep. On that note, thanks for your time, Punk. As always, appreciate
Yep.
all your inputs. Our subscribers, whoever's watching us, do share your feedback. We always appreciate it. Anything we can improve, we'd be more than happy to do so. So yes, and like Amar is not here, always suggest please hit the bell icon and yeah, share your feedback. And as we continue to review upcoming games of the IPL, thank you, Punk. Have a good night.
See you tomorrow, guys. Good night.
Yep.